night. Every spark and ember glows with tales tonight. We'll read, you'll choose, endless quest, fireside tales, and me. Every path we take leads to worlds we've yet to see. Heroes rise and fall in lands both near and far. Mysteries unravel under moon and star. Twists and turns behind each door. Every page holds something more. Come closer now, the fire's warm. Adventures calling evermore. We'll read, you'll choose, endless quest, fireside tales, and me. Every path we take leads to worlds we've yet to see. So stoke the flames and turn the page. Our endless tale has just begun. So stoke the flames and turn the page. Our endless tale has just begun.
Greetings. From the Hilt cautions that this program may contain mature content including strong language, sexual innuendos,
What the hell is this? Sam don't like it. Yeah. No. Seriously? Oh, I don't think so. You may proceed.
Greetings, I am Logan, the G.I. Joe Gamer. Let's get some background music on here so we can chat and enjoy the music tonight and enjoy some good story. Hope everybody's up for that. We got Victor Gibson in the house. Hello, Victor, my bro. It's good to see you as always. Kenneth Bird. Hello, sir. Great to see you. We also got my wife, the Lady Tiger, in the chat. Thank you all for being here. Looks like we may have somebody else, but they haven't commented, but that's all right. Thank you for joining us. We're going to read a bit, and then you guys get to make some choices and decide where the adventure goes. That's how this works. All right. So, last time we read Tower of Darkness. It was a lot of fun. Great time. So this time, tonight, we will be reading Claw of the Dragon. Now, my copy is not in very good shape. As you see, the cover has had some water damage, but the book itself is completely intact, so we're going to be able to read it. But here's a better look at that cover. Let's see if I can. That's Claw of the Dragon. Now, we have a poll right now for what we're going to read next time, so we're going to take a look at those. We have number one choice, Rappers and Robots. That was quest book number 9. It is a top secret adventure. Top Secret was a game they had back in the 80s by TSR. Same people made the originally. Hey, Cool Gamer. I see you there, buddy. It is nice to see you. Hope you're ready to join in. Is that a Caldwell cover? The Robbers and Robots? Might be, sir. Cover art by Elmore. That's an Elmore cover, buddy. Yes, sir. Now, Claw the Dragon. Oh, and the Robbers and Robots is by Mike Carr, the author. Let's see, Robbers and Robots. Clyde Caldwell on the Claw of the Dragon. Yes, sir. If that's what you're referring to. Definitely Clyde Caldwell. I thought I recognized that. When I saw some Clyde Caldwell artwork. Yep. Claw of the Dragon, sir. This is an Elmore, though. Larry Elmore, and Clyde Caldwell, along with Jeff Easley, were three of the easily the best artists for D&D stuff. Hey, Jess Laws, welcome. You're sleepy. That's okay, Jess. It is good to see you. We will give you props in the chat there. Hey, Jess. Okay, so let me get this off of here. We'll move on to Quest book number 10, Circus of Fear. These are fun little adventures from D&D. I will tell you which one that I would like to read, but don't let me determine your choice, because that's what I want. Let me see. Everybody saying hello. Next up is number 18, King's Quest. This is a lot of fun. I love this one, and this would be my choice. I've been wanting to read that one for a while. Here's a better look at Circus of Fear and a better look at King's Quest. And next up, I'm just going to go ahead and show you the cover. Is Lair of the Lich. So I hope you guys are up for that and ready for some Lair of the Lich, if that's what you want to choose. All great Endless Quest books. Robbers and Robots is an interesting one because it's not D&D. I thought I'd throw that in there this time, and I think I threw that in there last time too. But I put Circus of Fear back in there. What I like to do is, if we haven't read it yet, I put it back on the poll and then add a new one to it. So we're going to check. Barely able to stay awake all day. Hope you're not coming down with something, Jess. Why try? Jess don't like to sleep. She don't like you sleep. Right now we have 5 votes, and it looks like Robbers and Robots is in first place at the moment, so that's cool. That's cool. Something different next time. That'd be a lot of fun. Let's see. Ray went to bed early, and he's still not completely better. I was feeling dizzy. Yeah, that whatever that illness was that I had a couple weeks back just hung in there, just hung in, and I don't know. It just seemed like I was getting better, and then all of a sudden, boom, I was down again. It really sucks. So I hope you guys are doing okay. We got a Sir Fluffy dog in the house. Hello, Ben. Ben is one of my kids, so, they're the ones who went to Texas and got their shit together for the most part. So they are a functioning adult for the most part. Like we all are for the most part. It could be. What's up? It's good to see you. All right, so that's what we got for next time. Polls up there. Please vote. We got. I'm supposed to be talking about this, but I always forget. Support our Patreon, please. Memberships are, you can join for free, but memberships are $5. So if you want to do that and support our work, please do so at patreon.com/FromTheHilt, capital F, capital H, all one word. Now, that's the business is done. Let's read a book and have some fun tonight. How does that sound? All right, let me do some maintenance cleanup in here and switch up our music just a little bit. Maybe that's a little too much. Better. Well, I can work with that. Okay. Claw the Dragon. Let's see what we got. I also do have this really cool bookmark that I got from her, who sent me a nice big old package that I'm going to do a video on here in a bit. I've been waiting for the right moment, really. So I'm I'll use this to mark our mulligan page while we read. Okay. This is all set up. I think we're ready to go. I hope you guys are ready. We're about 5 minutes, a little over 5 minutes in, so let's do this. I think that music needs to be turned down a bit. Let's do that. There we go. Don't want to be overpowered. Tavern music, or is that too laid back? We can do tavern music if you like. I've got that in the queue. But I will switch up. There you go. As requested, tavern music. Claw the Dragon is by Bruce Algazin. He wrote quite a few of the later Endless Quest books in the series. Cover art, like Victor correctly pointed out, is Clyde Caldwell. Interior art is by Stephen Fabian. And right off the bat, we got a picture. So, there you go. Without any context whatsoever. Yeah. All right. Yes, Victor. Victor sent you a friend request on the Discord chapter. So please join our Discord. We have a lot of stuff going on over there. What's that? Tiger saying, "Here you go again." Got your character set up for Beyond the Miasma game. That's gonna be awesome. Yes. All right. You are about to set off on an adventure in which you will meet many dangers and face many decisions. Your choices will determine how the story turns out, so be careful. You must choose wisely. There we go. The reason why I'm accentuated those is because they're all in all caps. Tiger's trying to ask me a question.
Is he Moogie?
Who's Moogie? Yes, yes. Yes, Victor is Moogie. On Discord, yes. That's a chicken, not a dragon. You're right. You're right. It looks kind of like a chicken. Only with his head cut off. On this particular cover, when you look at it correctly, he does look like a dragon, but naturally I went and got rid of it because I thought, hey, we're not going to need this. Let's see. Tiger Cool, I'm still trying to pick a race. I have too many ideas. It should be a lot of fun. We're gonna enjoy that one. But here you go. That's what it looks like. The cover intact. Not a chicken, that's a dragon. I wouldn't want that flying at me. Okay. You made a new race. Yes, we've had a lot of submissions for new races for Beyond the Miasma. Yeah, Miasmaville should be fun. Okay. It's good to see you, Kenneth. I'm glad you've joined us tonight. I hope you jump in and vote for our choices tonight. Do not read this book from beginning to end. Instead, you are faced with a decision. Follow the instructions and keep turning to the pages where your choices lead you until you come to an end. At any point, your choice can bring success or disaster. You can read Claw of the Dragon many times with many different results. So if you make an unwise choice, go back to the beginning and start again. Good luck on your adventure. In this book, you are Toby, son of a settler on your kingdom's frontier. Life is difficult in the frontier village, especially since your father became ill. And it has become even more difficult lately since dragons began raiding your village. But at least the dragons have given you and your older brother, Barnaby, an opportunity to do some highly unusual treasure hunting. Quest for dragons, huh? Claw the Dragon. Okay, so you're just having a Beyond the Miasmaville chat, or B&B. That's what I'm liking to call it now. We might as well go home, Barnaby. We're not going to find any more dragon scales today. Is that how it starts? Or did I skip a page? That is how it starts. Okay. I suppose you're right, Toby. We got to get home and check on Father anyway. Your brother replies, but let's just go on a bit farther. He begins to walk up the curving path that you know opens into a narrow valley. We need all the dragon scales we can get. Hello, Jason96. Welcome. We are reading an Endless Quest book here, and chat gets to vote on the choices that we make. So welcome. Hope you enjoy reading books. or listening to a book. Let's see. I know, but I'm getting sunburned. Your complaint is broken off sharply by a terrifying, angry shriek. It reverberates between the cliff walls that rise on each side of the path. Barnaby pauses and looks back at you as if expecting to be afraid. Go on, you urge. Let's see what it is. Your brother shrugs, turns, and leads the way quickly across the rough rocks until you reach a stand of stunted trees where the path begins to descend. Together, you and Barnaby park the stiff, spiky arms of pine and look out on a large stony depression between two mountains. Below you, not 100 feet away, two dragons are fighting, a red and a gold. Great piercing screams tear the air, and the dragons thrash and claw and try to burn each other with their horrible flaming breath. It looks as if the red one is winning. I knew it, you whisper excitedly. Only dragons could make such a racket. Your brother shakes his head in wonder. Oh, Toby, he murmurs in awe. This is just what we need. Oof, dragons. Yes, dragons. Last night, the dragons had raided your village again, as usual. And as usual, the villagers fought them off with a battery of catapults. These villagers are well armed. It seems horrible to think that these attacks could have a good side, but the villagers return fire sometimes. Releases the dragon scales from the beast's massive bodies. Then you and Barnaby shoulder your packs and come looking for the fallen scales, like today. Dragon scales are extremely valuable. Jasper, the traveling jeweler, buys them from you, then polishes them on his big buffing wheel until they gleam like precious stones. Then he sells them to the court ladies in Tummen. You're not sure what they use them for, but you don't really care as long as Jasper keeps paying you. You and Barnaby need whatever money you can earn to keep yourselves and your ailing father alive until the crops on your small farm, can be harvested, if they can ever be harvested, but with repeated dragon raids. So far this morning, you found 2 scales. One was right on the trail, but the other almost caused you to break your neck. It was dangling precariously from a small bush over the edge of a cliff. Normally, you'd consider 2 scales a pretty good day, but you've never before come across 2 whole dragons with their scales still intact. As you watch the 2 dragons struggling with each other, you see that the ground beneath them is already strewn with scales. Your fingers vibrate with excitement. There we go. The dragon fight, and you're looking on. Pretty cool. Let me see if I can straighten that. There we go. 2 dragons. All right, let's take a look. There we go. Cool. All right. Won't be long before the red one finishes the other one off, Barnaby says in a hushed voice. Then we'll move in. As you stare awestruck, you wonder again why dragons have been raiding your village so often lately. No one seems to know what's behind the raids, and so they can't do anything to stop them. Dragons have always been around, but usually they leave people alone and the people leave them alone. Yes, art, yes. As her fluffy dog, I show all the pictures that we come across in the book. Yes, it's what we do. Okay. Several weeks ago, you were standing alone in the barnyard watching 2 pigs gobble their food. You just finished your chores and were admiring the pink sunset. Suddenly, 2 black specks appeared on the horizon. Immediately, you began to feel frightened, though you didn't know why. Then, as the specks came nearer, you saw that they were great black creatures that flew on long, bat-like wings. Dragons! You squinted up, awestruck, as they flew out of the sun, coming towards you with amazing swiftness. Suddenly, you realized that the evil creatures were flying right at you. Stunned, you were trying to get your frozen legs to move when the one in front opened its massive jaws and breathed a fiery blast right at you. Your heart raced and your feet came unstuck. Barnaby, Barnaby, you shouted as you ran towards the barn. Flashback. We're having a flashback. Hello, Lisa's Got Style. Welcome. This is not our usual show. We do this one once a month. where I read and you guys get to choose which way we go. It's a lot of fun. It's called Endless Quest. Lisa's been checking out both G.I. Joe Gamer and From the Hilt. So I hope you like what you see. Welcome, welcome. Okay. Yes, I'm Logan, the G.I. Joe Gamer. Okay. But Barnaby had already seen them. He came running out with a pitchfork in his hand. The dragon swooped overhead. You're going to do something with a pitchfork, huh? The dragon swooped overhead, the heat from their breath setting everything on fire. The barn, the fence, even the grass on the ground. Barnaby let fly with the pitchfork, and it went into the first dragon's neck just above the shoulder. The creature squawked and faltered in flight. It seemed about to fall, then have a groan of pain and anger. Beat its huge wings once, and then, with the pitchfork still dangling, soared off towards the mountains. The second dragon followed, leaving you and Barnaby to put out the fires. Fortunately, the damage wasn't too great. Proved me wrong. Pitchfork did the job, I guess. Well, at least Barnaby did the job. Everybody's saying hello. Did we get Dino pop in here? Hey, Dino. Welcome, Dino. It's good to see you, buddy. Reading an Endless Quest book tonight. Hope you enjoy. All right. Got Phil in there? Phil, too. Hashtag swoop. All right. In the full house here tonight. All right. Let's read some book here. All right. Just as there had been no warning of the attack, afterwards there was no explanation. Wait, read that again. Which part? Which part, Jess? Which part? The part about the Barnaby and throwing the pitchfork? Up. Come on, Jess, which part do you want me to read again? All right, I will read that part again just in case that's what Jess wanted. Oh, never mind. Okay, good. Okay, I see how it is. Since then, the same thing had happened almost every night. Dragons come and burn barns, fields, even houses. The farmers have organized groups to keep watch during the night. They man the big wooden catapults, hoping to keep the dragons at bay. But the monsters are becoming more vicious, and the catapult stones no longer deter them. Some farmers are worried about what will happen if all the dragons ever come at once. If they ever get together, I don't know what we'll do, a friend of your father's told you one day. The village will be charred ruin. Part where Barnaby fights the tapeworm. That's not happening. I'm gonna laugh when he runs into a worm in this book. I think that's a different book. Yeah, it might be. No worries, Phil. No worries. You have to admit that you're worried about the same possibility, and still you have to wonder what's making the dragons so hostile. Meanwhile, the battle between the two dragons appears to be about over. The red bat has backed the gold against a large rock and has hooked its shoulders with its monstrous foreclaws. Now, with its long talons on its strong hind feet, it is ripping holes in the gold's underside. The gold is screaming in pain, its cries echoing against the rocks and filling the canyon. Won't be too long now, Toby whispers Barnaby. When one of those black claws reach the gold's throat and tears the windpipe, the gold will be done for. Who decided to build a village so close to a dragon's mountain anyway? I don't know. Right. All right. The gold dragon surprises you both, though. With a mighty beat of wings, it throws off its adversary, and suddenly the two are on equal footing again, circling each other warily, looking for openings as though they'd just begun to fight. Gold is still bleeding, very much the worse for wear, however. The red dragon senses this. In a flash, it leaps on its foe again. With an incredible surge of energy, the gold is overwhelmed. It goes down and hardly puts up a fight as the red claws dig into its back and its teeth tear at its flesh. Several minutes pass before the red backs off. The gold doesn't move. The only signs of life is a slight throb in one of its leathery wings. Now, let me see. We have Mohan ready. Gunam. This topic is interesting. I hope you enjoy. I'm reading, and when I get to a choice, the chat gets to decide. So welcome. Welcome. All right. You glance over the ledge. Barnaby's still at the end of the rope. By some miracle, the rope tangled around his arm. What, did I skip a page here? I did. Sorry. Yep. Here we go. For a brief moment, the red stands over its victim. Its back to you. It pecks at the gold with its lizard mouth and picks at its foe's inert body with its claws. Then abruptly, it marches several paces on its strong haunches, spreading its wings, and takes flight. Yes, I'm reading from a book. This is called Claw of the Dragon, Mohan Reddy. If that's what you prefer to be called. And welcome, Judy. Hello, Judy. It's good to see you. Nice to have you join us for an Endless Quest book. Hope you enjoy. You pull your scaling knife from the scabbard on your belt and begin to push your way through the tree limbs toward the fallen dragon. You've never stripped a whole dragon before, but you figure it's going to take a while. You might as well get started. Suddenly, Barnaby catches you by the arm. It's not over yet, he says. Wait until the gold's dead. Sure enough, no sooner has he said this than the great dragon attempts to stand. It looks like a bird with a broken wing. It lunges, flops over and over again, making a large circle. Finally, exhausted, it stops to rest, its head pushed flat against the canyon floor. A lonely wail issues from its torn throat. Then it begins to shout, Cleto, come back! You'll pay for this, Cleto, you villain! You and Barnaby stare at the dragon in amazement. Nowhere, not in any legend you've ever heard, is there anything about dragons being able to talk. Cleto, the dragon wails once more. You blackguard! You'll pay for this! Oh, I'm done for! Excuse me. Where can you get this book? Maybe on eBay or Amazon. This book came out in the 80s, so that's a good question. You want to read it? Yeah. Well, sometimes you can find them on PDF, but I've only managed to find the first one, so good luck with that. They might be on Drive-Thru RPG and PDF. I don't know. Excuse me. They have a lot of D&D stuff there. Sorry. Yeah, probably on Amazon. Agreed. I've purchased a few on Amazon. So despair seems to have overtaken it. Then just suddenly, its spirit rallies. It makes another attempt to stand, beating its wings furiously and struggling to raise its head. Barnaby takes the knife from your hand and pushes past you toward the dragon. This time it's your turn to stop him. Where do you think you're going? To slit its throat and put an end to it for once and for all. Why? It's ruining its scales. That's why. If it keeps tossing itself around like that, it's going to look like someone took a hammer to them. I'm just going to put it out of its misery. But it talks. I know it talks, Toby. I'm as amazed as you are. But so what? Its scales won't be worth any more because of it. Yes, but if it can talk, maybe it can tell us why the dragons have been attacking the village. The dragons attack because they're ill-tempered and they hate us. Now stand back, Toby. I got to do this while it's still lying still. Should you let Barnaby kill the dragon, or should you talk to the huge creature and try to solve the mystery of the dragons and their dislike for villagers? Okay, so if we want to kill the dragon, turn to page 25. Want to talk to the dragon, 38. So that's where we're at, guys. Ouch, yes. So the dragons can talk. Yes, and this one they can. Yes. Talk to the dragon. That's one. One for talk. One for talk. Apparently I've got to adjust my eye here. When I cough, I teared up a little bit. Weird. Sorry. 38. So Judy, that would be talk to the dragon. So that's 3 for talk to the dragon, because Jess said talk to the dragon too. So 3 for talking to the dragon. All right. Getting some replies tonight. That's the Victor saying talk. That's 4. We have 9 people. So Sir Fluffy says talk to the dragon too. All right. So that's 5. That's good enough for me. That's more than half. So all right, we're going to talk to this dragon. We're going to turn to page 38. And if I see any pictures, I will show them to you. Talk fast. Okay, see, there's 6. Wow. Overwhelming, unanimous decision. Please, Barnaby, let me talk to it. Just for a minute, you plead. Maybe I can find out something. Dragon's good eating. Barnaby shakes his head from side to side, then relents. Oh, all right, but hurry. Will you? I want the scales to be in good shape. You press past your brother and, hopping from stone to stone, cross the rocky terrain until you were just under the dragon's head. The huge creature lies perfectly still, its eyelids shut tight. His chest is still heaving, and blood flows from a gaping wound in its throat, and a trickle of crimson glistening on its magnificent chest scales. Hello? You say tenderly. You really have no idea how to address a dragon. Address a dragon. Hey, Judy. Thanks for the chocolate chip cookies. Ooh. Dragon. All right. I don't know how to address a dragon either. You know how to address a dragon? Put him in a skirt. All right. One huge eyelid suddenly springs open, and the dragon tries to lift its head to see you better. You want to run, but you stand your ground. We were nearby, you stammer. We saw what happened. The dragon sighs, and its head falls back to the ground. Sir Dragon? My brother and I. But before you can finish, a fit of violent coughing seizes the dragon. You wait for the coughing to stop. Suddenly, more words come from the animal's throat in a strained, high-pitched voice. Run back to your people. Warn them that they're all going to die. I don't understand. What are you talking about? Why are they going to die? Dragon gasped. Tomorrow, dawn, attack on your village. Hundreds of dragons. They'll lay waste to the town. Dress the dragon in drag. Okay, that works. Just a minute, dragon, Barnaby says suddenly. You've been so busy listening to the dragon you didn't hear him approaching. If you think we're going to give up without a fight, you're dead wrong. We've got our catapults ready, and we'll defend ourselves to the last man. Isn't that right, Toby? Brave words, chokes the dragon. If you fight, you're sure to lose. There are too many of them. The village will be wiped out. But why, you ask? Why do the dragons attack us? We haven't done anything to them. You're frontiersmen, aren't you? Settlers paid by the king to settle the area. There's nothing wrong with being paid to settle new land, Barnaby asserts. It's done all the time. Why else would we come into a strange land just to scratch out a bare living? Besides, it helps the king extend his territory. Did you ever stop to think that all the land may not be free for their taking? Has someone staked a prior claim on this land we've settled, you ask? The dragon's head bobs up. Prior claim? It almost screams. 1,000 dragon clans lay claim to that land. Haven't you noticed the odd pockets of limestone embedded in the soil around here? Phil apparently, what chocolate chip cookies? Oh, so they were paid to do it. Yeah, that sounds like it. Wait, why didn't you send me cookies? Yo, send us all cookies, Judy. Oh, shit. Phil, what's up with that? Now that the dragon mentions it, there were a number of odd flat rocks just beneath the surface of the ground. It took a lot of effort to get them up when your father was plowing. You remember at the time wondering how they got there. What are those rocks for, you ask? They're dragon nests. Once every century, when the mating seasons come, our females go to the plateau between the two mountains by the river. Alwar, to hatch and rear our young. The river Elwar? That's right where our village is, cries Barnaby. So that's why you attack, you exclaim. It doesn't matter, Barnaby says evenly. We got farms there now, and our crops are planted. We're not going to move. The dragon sighs and drops its head. Obviously, the conversation is weakening it. Several seconds pass before it raises its head again. You don't understand, it says quietly. I've just come from your king. We've reached an agreement. He will move his settlement in return for certain considerations. What considerations? Demands Barnaby. I don't believe you. King Olaf is a good king. He wouldn't sell us out, and now that we've planted our crops, he's been promised the shells of the dragon eggs. You remember hearing about dragon egg shells. They're said to be magic. Ground up and made into a broth, they are said to cure any disease. Some say they can even make an old man young. Oh no. I've never heard of kings paying people to go settle land. They just, no, it happens. It depends on if they're a good king. You know what? I like eating cookies, Judy. So that, anyway, we have that in common at least. Popcorn, yeah, I don't see those. I just see the words. Oh, lots of popcorn. All right. I like popcorn. Okay. Barnaby scowls. No, he says emphatically. The king wouldn't break his word, not even for dragon egg shells. We're loyal subjects. Trying what up? Dragon bones? No, the eggs, the egg shells from their hatchlings after they hatch. Let's see. The farmers will be paid 5 times what the land is worth. The king made it a law. 5 times its worth, you cry, grabbing Barnaby's arm. Barnaby, did you hear that? We'll be rich. Barnaby pulls his arm away. We'd have to move, he says. So what? We'll start over. We'll buy a new farm somewhere near Tummen. The soil's better there anyway. Maybe, says Barnaby. Well, maybe this is just some dragon trick. I will consume your whole kitchen. Maybe some dragon trick. It's no trick, shouts the dragon, and begins coughing uncontrollably again. When it's finally finished, its body trembles. You notice that a fine white powdery substance has begun to form on its nostrils. You must believe me. What I tell you is truth. But I must get home. I must stop them. There's no question in your mind that the dragon is dying. Tears begin to well in your eyes. What? What if you can't get home? You ask gently. I must stop the red dragon, or they will surely attack. The red dragon? You mean the one who attacked you? Yes, he's called Cleto. He wants to wear the mantle of leadership. And he'll lead the attack? Yes. He knew I was going to see the king. He waited for me here to ambush me. Now no one will know about the agreement until it's too late. We have to do something, you exclaim, turning to your brother. We can't just let the dragon die like this. Barnaby shakes his head, then shrugs. The dragon coughs again, followed by long wheezing noises as it struggles to get its breath. The sound wrenches your heart. I'm afraid you're not going to make it, old fellow, you say softly. I don't think you're ever going to see your home again. Then I've lost, and so have you. Your mind is filled with anguish. You feel something has to be done, and it's up to you and Barnaby to do it. What if my brother and I went to the other dragons for you and told them what's happened? Would they believe us? Told me, exclaims Barnaby in surprise. Barnaby's right to be worried, you think, but your words surprise even you. Barnaby's right to be worried. Your words surprise even you. It's possible, breathes the dragon. But you'll need a sign. Take the ring from my talon. It's King Olaf's ring. He gave it to me as a symbol of our new friendship. You look at the dragon's feet, which hang limply on its chest. Dragon's front feet. I don't see any ring, you protest. Then that hateful Cleto has stolen it. You must cut off my claw. The dragon's claw is the highest sign of trust and esteem among dragonkind. A dragon only gives it to one he trusts. Don't worry. It's painful, but a dragon grows them back. I can tolerate a little more pain. You take your scaling knife from Barnaby and start toward the claw, but Barnaby grabs it back. What do you think you're doing? He cries angrily. You're not exactly thinking of going to these dragons and trying to make peace, are you? Don't have to. Peace has already been made. I just have to get them to believe it. But you can't. Wait a minute, he says, turning anxiously to the dragon. Where is his place? Where do we have to go to stop this attack? The Eyrie, dragon's eye. Eyrie? Where's that? On the side of the mountains. There, did you hear that, Toby? The other side of the mountains. And we have to be there by dawn? Isn't that right, dragon? By dawn tomorrow? Yes, dawn. Well, that settles it then, doesn't it? You can't possibly make it by dawn. It's too far, right, Toby? Barnaby is growing frantic as he talks. His head swivels, first to you, then to the dragon, and then back again. Let's see. They have to cut it off after he died? They could. Maybe he'll live? Is this Puff the Magic Dragon? I don't think so. Hashtag D&D coffee. There you go. Coffee for you. Barnaby, you say gravely, you have to try. Please, you must, gasped the dragon. Look for a friend, a dragon named Helio. He knows the red dragon well. Tell him that Bosporus sent you. He'll know you're telling the truth. Barnaby starts to say something. A coughing fit from the dragon cuts him off. The terrible rasping sounds go on for almost a full minute. You feel certain the huge animal is near death. Finally, the coughing stops, only to be followed by an ominous gurgling noise. There, says Barnaby with an awful finality. It's dead. Grabs hold of the great beast's shiny flank and begins to climb it, the scaling knife in hand. But the dragon is still alive. Its huge snake-like hand rears suddenly, throwing Barnaby back. All else fails. Burn the claw, it gasps. Then its head falls back, and its great chest is still. What was that all about? Asked Barnaby, visibly shaken. You shrug. You're finding it hard to speak. You only knew the creature for a short time, but there was something noble about the dragon. A lump is formed in your throat. You swallow hard, hoping Barnaby won't notice. But Barnaby notices everything. Yes, it is sad. If it were, he could teleport them all in a puff of smoke. Now that's a possibility, but he's dead now. What happened? What's the matter with you anyway? He asked angrily. It's just a dragon. But it talked to us, you shouted it, losing your temper. It believed in peace. It gave its life for it. All right, says Barnaby, changing his tone. But so what? It didn't succeed. The attack is still going to take place tomorrow, and in the meantime, these scales are going to rot out here in the sun. How can you think of scales at a time like this? You take the knife from your brother, then push him aside and start climbing the dragon's chest toward the claw. You're going to go, aren't you? Barnaby asked accusingly from below. I have to go. Then I have to go too. I can't let you go alone. Actually, you were hoping he'd say that. Your brother can be a pain in the neck at times, but in a pinch, he's a useful friend to have around, even though he gets pretty bossy sometimes. And it's going to be a long, hard journey across the mountains to the Eyrie. All right, then, you say. We'll go together. Before we get carried away, let me point out one thing you may have overlooked. If you have any hope of reaching the other side of the mountains by dawn, we're going to have to leave now. That means there's no time to go back and warn the village about the attack. The village will be destroyed, and everyone in it will die. Think about that. Pause halfway up the dragon, struck by what your brother has said. Your heart sinks. He's right, you realize. It's one or the other. Either you go back and warn the village, or you risk everything to make a headlong dash across the mountain and hope you reach the area in time. A horrible weight has been placed upon your shoulders. In the balance hang the lives of hundreds of men, women, and children. All of them your friends. What should you do? If you want to try and make it to the area by dawn, turn to page 58. If you want if you elect to return to to warn the village, turn to page 103. Pretty brother. Conundrum. Yes, it's a conundrum. Oh, I grew up with a box of chocolates and there's one missing. That sucks. It's sealed. All right, so what are we going to do? Make it to the area by dawn, 58, or return to warn the village, 103. Third option, go play in the woods. Yeah, that's not one of the options, Jess. There's no continuation for that one. I stole your chocolate. He stole my black root. Let's change up the music a bit. We have a dilemma. We have a choice to make. So let's do this. Go over the mountain. 1 for the mountain. 2 for the mountain. Oh, I'm airy. 2 for the mountain. Yeah, I tried to restore this cover a few times. I'm just looking at it. Part of it's kind of sticking up. I wish there was something I could do, but the only thing I can really do is get a new copy. Sometimes they're pretty expensive, and other times they're really cheap. I got one for like $5 that I read already. Duel of the Masters. It was pretty good. I say we pull out our boots of springing step and hop on over. All right, we got 2 votes in. Come on, everybody. Let me know. Let me know what you want to do. Go to the area or go back to the village and warn them. Yeah, I agree. So laughter ensues as we wait for vote. Judy wants to go back to the village. So 2 for the mountain, 1 for the village. Interesting choice, Judy. But in a way, I agree. You got to warn the villagers. Let's warn the village. That's 2 and 2. 2 for the mountain, 2 for the village. What are we gonna do? One more vote, I guess, decides it. Uh-oh, a tie. Yeah, tie for now. Got still 6 other people in here. So we have to go. Well, yeah, we're waiting for another vote there, Jess. We need a tiebreaker. Victor, village. Oh, all right. A choice that I didn't expect. We're going to go warn the village. Okay. Turn to page 103. We will leave this as our mulligan page. In case it's not good, we'll come back and take the other choice. 103. Yay, Victor! The village has village people in the Navy. And the adventure ends. YMCA, right? All right, here we go. It's one of the hardest decisions you've ever had to make. But in the end, the thought of being responsible for your friends and family being roasted alive proves too much. Maybe you're right, Barnaby. Maybe we should just be thankful we found out about the attack in time. Come on, you say. Sheathing your knife and starting back down the mountain. Let's go warn the village. The long journey home is long and tiring. It's late at night when you and Barnaby trudge to the village gate. The rutted mud path that serves as the main street is deserted, and most of the houses are dark. It's not unusual to find the streets empty, as the dragon raids have become more frequent. The men have taken to spending their nights in the Wild Boar Tavern, drinking to try to forget about the menace that swoops down on them from the skies. Halfway across the town square, you and Barnaby separate. You've already decided that Barnaby will warn the men in the tavern, while you warn your father. Your father is waiting for you as you enter. Where have you been? He demands as he struggles to his feet. The warm light of the fire can't disguise the pallor on his face. He hasn't felt well in a long time, but tonight he looks particularly weak. We have to get out of here, Father, you say, moving past him. Now, tonight. What are you talking about, he asks. You began rummaging through the room, pulling open cupboards and drawers, gathering essential items that you know you'll want to bring with you. I'll explain what we packed. Please hurry. We haven't much time, you exclaim. As you continue to gather your things, you tell your father what you learned from the gold dragon. At first, he doesn't believe you, but then, sensing your urgency, he begins to pack too. 2 hours later, the horse has been harnessed, and the wagon is almost full. Your father brings out one last item, a rocking chair he likes to sit in while he watches the sun go down. He hands it up to you, and you find a place for it and tie it down. Is that everything you ask? That's all of it. And we're ready to go. Where's Barnaby? Here I am, says a figure emerging from the shadows. It's Barnaby, and he's soaked to the skin and smells like a wine vat. What happened to you, you ask? He looks like a drowned rat. They didn't believe me, he says angrily. They said dragons can't talk, and then they doused me with wine. Then no one believed you? Elmo and Modra, the bartender, believed me. They said they'd spread the word and meet us on the river road. You're lucky they didn't kill you. The drunken fools, exclaims your father, dabbing at your brother with the tail of his shirt. No time for that now, you say. Hop up here, both of you, and let's be off. It'll be light soon. We have to be well away from the village. The wheels creak and the horse strains as your wagon filled with to overflowing teeters down the rutted road. You meet a few of the other villagers by the river, and together you form a caravan as you head out onto the plateau away from the village. Too bad more villagers didn't believe us, you say to Barnaby, after surveying the small number in the group. Let them all stew in their own juices, your brother says sourly. Some people are just plain stubborn, your father adds with a sigh. But a sadness steals over you, a profound sorrow and regret. This isn't the way I thought it would end, you think. I wanted to save them all, each and every one. The town fades from sight behind you, full of friends you'll probably never see again, and a house you'll never come home to. The end! No! Brought us to an end, my friends. A spanking is spanking. We're doing spankings again. All right. I guess it's possible the dragons would do the same, even with the claw. Yep. Knew it. All right. So we go back to the Mulligan page. And now we're going to go to the area and turn to page 58. And hopefully we will get a choice here. Let me look. Oh, looks like we got lots of reading and a couple choices. All right. The area it is. We got to do both. All right. Okay, so we're going to 58. Barnaby, we've got to go, you say firmly. If we go back to the village, we might win the battle, but this way we can win the war. It's a risk worth taking. All right, he sighs. If we're going, we're going. You resume climbing the big dragon's chest. The wounds the red dragon inflicted on its underbelly are so large that they serve as footholds, but they feel squishy under your feet. The sensation makes you a little sick. So how are we going to get to the area by dawn? Asked Barnaby. The old man of the mountain. The old man of the mountain? Barnaby echoes with disgust. That old coot! You reach the dragon's forefoot and begin to slice through the tendons and muscles holding a talon to a gold-skinned finger. We need magic if we hope to get to the area in time, and he's the only magician we know. But he's so unpredictable. Besides, Father suspects he is associated with the undead. Remember? He said the old man smells of sulfur and rotted flesh. You remember your father's face the night he came back from the old man's retreat. It was as white as crockery, and his eyes were more frightened than you'd ever seen them. He's thoroughly evil, your father said. I don't know why I ever thought I could trust him. And you know why he thought he could trust him. And you know he never would have if the livestock hadn't been in danger of dying. Okay, let me see. Bad Newt. Yes, punish her and punish me too. I have to keep redoing it till we get an ending I'm happy with. That's right. Yes, we have to keep redoing it. That's from the Monty Python, Jess. Bad Newt. Yep. You bear down with the knife until the cartilage holding the claw finally snaps. The old man helped us before in an emergency. I'm hoping he'll help us again, you declare. Well, I don't trust him, says Barnaby. And I know Father doesn't either. Father isn't here, you say bluntly, letting Barnaby know that you've made up your mind. You jump back to the ground. The claw is dripping blood in huge round spots. You hold it gingerly by its sharp end and place it on a rock. Once it's drained, you place it between the two dragon scales in your pack and tie it tight. Then you secure the pack and hoist it over to your shoulders. Time to go, you say. Barnaby shoulders his own pack with a sigh and falls in behind you for the short hike out of the canyon. You don't mean to be hard on him, but you know how hard it is to get him to make up his mind. Once committed, however, he's as good to have at your side as anyone you know. You just hope he has committed himself to the quest. At the canyon's mouth, you come to the river and follow it into a glade of pine. The sun is hidden in the branches here, and the shade feels cool. In a short time, you leave the river and begin the long trek across the marshy flats. There are no trees here, only grasses that tower well over your heads in the tall tufts. The trail narrows to a footpath, which you are forced to negotiate single file. Let me see. We got a BB in the house. Hey, BB. What's up, buddy? It's good to see you. Watching Jeopardy earlier, and one question was about G.I. Joe. Sweet. What was the question? I may have the answer. Hey, Barry. Cool Barry. Saying hello. I'll read some more. You can't see anything on the other side of the trail as it unfolds in front of you. Your nerves go taut, and you remember this is a wild animal path. Anything could be coming around a corner at you at any minute. Suddenly, a sound up ahead makes you start. You grab Barnaby's arm, your heart pumping. Your brother has heard it too. He stares up the trail, his eyes narrow, alert. Without a word, the two of you leave the path and slip in among the tall grass until you're well hidden. In a few minutes, you begin to hear voices and the creaking of wagon wheels. Peering out, you realize it's someone you know. Theron Youngblood, a friend of your brother's, and some of the men who frequent the Wild Boar Tavern. Theron, Barnaby shouts as he leaps out onto the path in front of the procession. Barnaby, Theron cries, running up and clapping Barnaby on the shoulder. Theron is a few years older than your brother and always, it seems, in high spirits. Darn, you think. The last thing we need now is a delay. You decide to rid yourself of these people as soon as possible, and you step out into view beside your brother. Toby, Theron shouts, surprised. What are you two doing out here? It's a long way back to the village. By saying hello. Warn them. Yeah, hopefully. We might ask you the same thing, Theron, Youngblood, you say. Why aren't you and your friends down at the Wild Boar as usual? Why, we're hunting dragons, of course. See? Points back to a wagon drawn by two tired-looking horses. Mounted on the wagon is a large catapult. So are we, says Barnaby. Actually, we're after scales. Way out here, you'll never make it back home before nightfall. We don't intend to, you break in. We plan to camp out. We were just about to make camp ourselves, declares Theron good-naturedly. Maybe we could all bed down together. No thanks, you say hastily. We've still got some ground to cover. We want to get as far as Whitestone Wash. There's good scale hunting there, we hear. Turn to find Barnaby glaring at you. Apparently the thought of a borrowed bedroll and a warm meal appealed to him. We wouldn't mind having a little something to eat, though, Barnaby persists. We left in such a hurry this morning, we forgot half our supplies. Well, of course, Theron turns to the others. Spread out, boys. We can camp right here. As Theron's men are unpacking their supplies and making a fire, Barnaby beckons you aside. Now's our chance to warn the villagers, he whispers. We can tell Theron about the dragon attack tomorrow, and he can bring word back to the others. What happens when Theron finds out about the dangerous mission we're on, you ask? What if he won't let us go? He might think he's doing us a favor by protecting us. You have a point there, Barnaby admits thoughtfully. All right, I won't say anything. But if we don't stop the attack and the whole village goes up in flame, it'll be on your head. Your brother's words strike at your heart. What should you do? Should you give the village a fair warning and run the risk of having Theron try to stop you? Or should you keep quiet and slip away from the party of hunters as soon as possible? So no warning? Yeah, what the fuck? I mean, you warn them. All right, so you want to tell your story to Theron and the others and ask them to warn the village, page 68. If you think it would be safer not to tell them, turn to page 115. So, warn them or slip away. Big Tiger's already voted for warn them. Now they make a good point. Okay, we got there's 1, 2 for warn them. I don't know, Tiger. Did you change your mind? 3 for warn them. One more seals the deal, Tiger. So if you say warn them, that's what we do. Slip away. Victor wants to slip away. No mind changing, but maybe feeling foreshadowing. So that's 4. That's 4, Victor. So we're gonna warn them. We're gonna warn them. Okay. So that's 68. I'm not too far from where we're at right now. All right, there it is. So I'm gonna leave the bookmark on our Mulligan page. Purr's gift. Pretty cool. Help us out tonight. Let's see. Barnaby's admonition that the fate of your village is on your head convinced him. He's right, you think. You really have to warn the village about the attack. You walk back to where Theron is directing the setting up of the camp. There's something I have to tell you, Theron, he said. You relate the entire story to him, leaving out nothing. And that evening in front of the fire, you go through it again with the rest of the hunting party. Gradually, they begin to believe you. When you show them the dragon's claw stuffed deep in your pack, you can tell they are convinced. A lively discussion follows. As you listen, you sense a growing alarm among the party. Finally, the discussion turns to the subject of the other villagers. They'll have to be warned as soon as possible, Theron pronounces. And he turns to one of the young men. Take one of the horses. Ride to the village and sound the alarm. We'll wait here. The young man is an impetuous sort, but he seems to be a superb horseman. He leaps on his mount and rides off into the night. You watch him go, and when he's out of sight, you turn to Theron. You can see now why we can't stay, Theron. Barnaby and I have to get to the Carry. Somehow. We have to convince these dragons that peace has already been made. I've been thinking about that, he says. Seems pretty dangerous for a couple of boys. Like you, it seems pretty dangerous for a couple of boys like you to attempt something so dangerous. That is exactly what you were afraid of. Try to cut off this line of discussion by saying heatedly, maybe it is risky, but I promised the dragon I'd try, and try I will. Take it easy, Toby. I didn't mean for you to get all hot about it, Theron says. I'm not. I'm just saying we're going. That's all. Barnaby, get your pack. Suddenly you feel strong hands grab you by the elbows. One of Theron's friends has grabbed you from behind, and you can't turn around. Barnaby quickly sees what's happening and comes running up. Let go of my brother! But Theron slips around behind him and pins his arm behind his back. They push you both over to the wagon and force you to sit by the wheel. Then they tie your hands behind you to the spokes. What's the idea, Theron? Your brother demands. It's for your own good, Barnaby says. It's for your own good, Barnaby, he says, squatting beside you. We can't let you two go on a quest like that. It's too dangerous. Besides, I owe it to your father. I know you two, especially you, Toby. You'd go, however dangerous it was. We'll tie you in the morning. Meanwhile, you might as well get some rest. When he's gone, you turn to Barnaby. Next time I tell you we're leaving, leave right then, you say hotly. Kick his shins. Oh. No mind. Okay, let's see. Yes, Victor, we might have to go back and slip away. Well, looks like that's what was happening. Blah. 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 Yes. Okay. It's not my fault, says Barnaby, trying to shrug, despite having his hands tied. It wasn't my decision to tell them about the attack. You're about to reply when you notice a movement in the shadows near the back of your wagon. Your pack is lying on the ground nearby, and something is stealing toward it. Hey, you! Stop! You shout. The figure stops abruptly and stares at you. It's a little man, not more than 2 feet high, and dressed in the most outlandish costume you've ever seen. His clothes are bright green, cut to resemble leaves. On his feet are two bright green boots with toes that curl up into points. Top of his head is a piece of birch bark, rolled into a cone and tied with a leather thong. A leprechaun, Barnaby breathes. Quick, don't take your eyes off it. You remember the stories you've heard about the wee folk ever since you were a child. It's said that if you take your eyes off a leprechaun for even a second, the tiny creature will vanish. But if you can't keep it in view and manage to extract a promise from it, it will serve you until the end of your days. You widen your eyes, determined not even to blink as you stare at the little figure. Come here, you little thief. Stay away from that bundle. The little man looks at you, a sheepish grin playing on the corners of its tiny mouth. Now, what could you be wanted with old Finn, he asks. Leprechaun, halfling elf. Never trust the groups. That's right, leprechaun. All right, here we go. What do you want with my bundle? Your bundle, is it? And here I thought it was just left there for the taking. Do you think what's in that bundle? Do you know what's in that bundle, leprechaun? Wine? Asked the little man hopefully. A dragon's claw. Imagine that. The floor claw of some vile leather-hided beast. Why run me through with a stake? I might just do that if you don't come closer, leprechaun. You can see that the leprechaun doesn't want to obey, but you stare at him unwaveringly and he can't seem to resist. Cautiously, the little man inches in your direction. Would you like to know why I have a dragon's claw in my pouch, he asks. Tell him about the claw, Toby, urges Barnaby. A story. I shouldn't miss it. An amusing anecdote, guaranteed to entertain. Hastily you relate the story of the dying dragon and the tale it told you, just as you did with Theron. You've heard that if you plead with a leprechaun and your cause is just, he has no choice but to help you. And once in your power, the tiny creature is bound to serve your service forever. So you see what we're up against, you conclude. We've got to reach the area by dawn and convince the dragons that there's no need to attack. Then we can begin working our arrangements to give up our land. Here come the Irish. There you go. A sparkling green tear rolls out of the corner of the little man's eyes and trickles down his screen face. As touching a tale as I've ever heard, he says with a sigh. And urgent, too. I suppose you'll be wanting my help now. We could use a hand getting out of these ropes, you say. And be quick about it, puts in Barnaby. Theron could come back any minute. Well, it's a grand tale indeed. A regular drama. But I can see 'tis the truth. You've been telling me, too. And I thank you for that. But I have to say myself, Finn, I say, after all these years, you've finally been caught by one of the big folk. Have you finally met your destiny? A footfall sounds near the fire, and a shadow falls on the grass not far away. Stop the infernal chattering, little man, and untie these ropes. He's coming, Barnaby hisses. Quickly, the little leprechaun slips behind the wagon wheel. You feel his deft fingers working the knots, and gradually the ropes begin to loosen. Think of it, whispers the little man gleefully. After all these centuries of freedom, I finally met my destiny. The ropes abruptly give way, and your hands are free. You snatch up the bundle with Finn while Finn loosens Barnaby's hands. Then the three of you slip into the tall grass. Wow, green tear. Yeah, strange. That's cool. I'm interested in the lore of this author, Mike Carr. No, Bruce Algazin. Bruce Algazin did this one. Has for the leprechaun. That's kind of cool. You hear Theron shout as you speed through the foliage, but gradually his voice begins to recede. Soon it's no more than an echo fading in the distance behind you. Up ahead you see a single scrub pine sticking its branches out of the marsh. The three of you stop beside it to rest. So, laddies, what's the plan? Pants the leprechaun, plopping down on a tree root, one little hand on either thigh as he tries to catch his breath. Some grand and clever plot to get us to the area just in the nick of time. We're on our way to see the old man of the mountain, you reply. Cast your eyes skyward. You realize that it's getting late. The sun has already begun to set. You wasted far too much time with Theron. The old man of the mountain? Why, he's a black magician, he is. We don't want to be seeing him. Not at night, anyway. But we need some kind of spell to transport us to the area. It's the only way we'll get there in time. Aye, a spell.
Listen, lad, but the old man of the mountain, I should think it'd be the storm giant you'd be wanting to see. Now there's a creature with some love in his heart. He'd listen to your tale of woe. He would. But the old man, ooh, says the leprechaun, wrinkling his nose. A cold fish, that one. The leprechaun's suggestion catches you off guard. You've never heard of the storm giant. You know about the old man of the mountain, however. Your father called him a sorcerer and swore he'd never go back. But the storm giant intrigues you. Should you abandon the plan and see the old man and go to the storm giant instead? All right, we got a new choice, everybody. New mulligan page. We got, if you decide to seek out the old man of the mountain, turn to page 93. If you elect to take the leprechaun's advice and get help from the storm giant, turn to page 84. So, old man of the mountain, leprechaun, and the storm giant. Intrigued by the giant. All right. We got a vote for the storm giant. Storm giant. Old man rock. Old man. Okay. So 1-1. Leprechaun, I'm taking that as the vote for the giant, unless you tell me otherwise. So that's 2 for the giant, 1 for the or the old man. Maybe the giant, 3 for the giant. Okay. Storm giant, that's 4. That's 4. And at the moment, there's only 4 people in the chat. I guess 4 is enough. Looks like we're going to the storm giant. Sorry, Phil. You're outvoted with the old men. Sorry. Old man of the mountain knew. Okay, so going to the storm giant on page 84. The old man has cookies. No, I think Judy has a cookie. I mean, the leprechaun has to tell the truth, right? You'd like to hope, Jess. You'd like to hope. All right, here we go. I'll leave this here in case things go badly. Ba-ba-bum. You decide to give the leprechaun suggestion a try and go see the storm giant for help. Leaving the marsh, you allow the little fellow to take the lead. Who has cookies? Old hard with hairs and oh no, and toenails. The leprechaun. Oh, yes, going with the leprechaun. He follows a meandering path into the foothills, and after several hours of what seems to be aimless wandering, your patience is at an end. When will we see the storm giant castle? You ask testily, making no attempt to hide your irritation. The giant has better cookies? We'd like to hope. It can't be much farther now, lad. If the old sodden brain hasn't deceived me. It better not have, says Barnaby grimly. In a gorge just ahead, you hear a metallic clanking sound, and on the rock face of the gorge, you can see the flickering reflection of a fire. Well, he's led us to something, you think, although you doubt it's the storm giant. Browser cookies. Well, let's see. You round a rock outcropping and see a stone house standing just off the path. In front of it, a small man is digging with a pick and a shovel. He's very old, and a pointed white beard hangs down to his belly. Then motions for the two of you to draw near. It's a dwarf, he whispers. A hard-working lot and friendly enough. I'll ask him the way to the storm giant's castle. The dwarf may be small, but Finn looks like a toddler as he goes forth with a happy wave with his walking stick and attracts the dwarf's attention. The two talk animatedly for several minutes. Then Finn turns back to you, a disturbed look on his face. I've bad news for you, lad. It's the wrong trail we've been following. The storm giant's castle lies several leagues in the other direction. Old Finn, I'm afraid, has muddled it. Emotions crowd in on you so fast you can hardly take stock of it. You sit down on your trail, your hand to your forehead, trying to sort them out. Barnaby's reaction, however, is pure anger. You little trickster! We've wasted hours following you around this mountain. Now we'll never make it to the area in time. You've ruined us. Excuse me, says the dwarf, stepping forward modestly. The leprechauns told me of your plight. You have to reach the Dragon Mountain by dawn in order to prevent an attack on your village? That's right, you say glumly, but we need magic or some kind of shortcut, or we'll never make it in time. Ah, but I know of such a shortcut, says the dwarf. Allow me. My name is Elric. Once long ago, a clan of my people mined these hills. We dug many tunnels, some of which connect with other tunnels under the area. You jump to your feet. You mean there's an underground shortcut to the area? You ask, your despair suddenly lifting like a fog. Indeed, says the old dwarf, stroking his beard. I believe it's possible to reach the area before your deadline. And you'll show us the way? Asked Barnaby excitedly. I will. Your cause seems just. But I must warn you, the tunnels have been long abandoned. Every day I hear the rumblings of new cave-ins. And what kinds of creatures are living down there? How? No one can guess. Aha! Chortles little Finn, dancing a jig. You see, lads, the luck of the leprechauns is a grand thing. It is. Old Finn has led you astray only to stumble on the better find. To the tunnels, I say. What do you think, Toby? Barnaby asked, looking dubious. Should we try it? I don't really know, Barnaby. There's still time to go back and see the old man of the mountain. I just don't know which to choose. But you'll have to make up your mind quickly. Every minute wasted brings you closer to dawn and the destruction of your village. Which will it be? Elric's tunnels or the old man of the mountain? You choose to try the dwarf shortcut, turn to page 17. If you like to backtrack to see the old man of the mountain, turn to page 34. All right, we even got one vote for tunnels already. Trolls, trollolos, trollololo, trollololo, The Witcher 3. Yes, I love the trollos. Cue Indiana Jones adventure music. All right, we'll put on some different music. Turn that up just a bit. Yeah, I should hear it. Okay. All right. Dwarf shortcut through the mountain, or go see the old man of the mountain. Why are we going to talk to the old man? I say tunnels. Okay, so that's 2. 3 for the tunnels. All right. 7 people in chat, so 1 more. That's 4. All right, tunnels it is, my friends. I'll leave this as our new mulligan page, though. Dwarf shortcut on page 17. There we go, page 17. A little cave and the cave and never hurt anyone. No, not at all. Little rocks in your head, no big deal. All right. The opening to the tunnels is a small square hole in the side of the mountain, supported by half-rotted timbers. Elric leads the way, and the rest of you follow. Inside, it's dank and musty. Your footsteps echo eerily on the tunnel floor, and after the first 100 feet, the opening is no longer visible behind you. The 4 of you are alone in the dark tunnel, with only Elric's weak torch to see by. The air smells of damp earth, and you find it difficult to breathe. The walls seem as though they're closing in around you, and you begin to think of stories you've heard of miners trapped in cave-ins. What's the chance of a cave-in, you ask Elric. Pretty good, I'd say. You shift your pack uneasily on your back, the claws getting as heavy as a millstone. You begin to wonder if you'll ever get it delivered. Hours pass by. Every now and then, Elric calls for a rest. Plop down and try to breathe, but no matter how hard you try, it doesn't seem to do any good. It's as though the air has already been used. Elric and Finn don't seem to be affected. They've taken to arguing between themselves, and they go at it with remarkable energy. Finally, the procession comes to an abrupt halt. You see at once what the problem is. The tunnel has split into 2 identical trails, leading it off in opposite directions. One to the left, one to the right. Elric stands in the intersection and scratches his head. This one, I'd say. This one, he says, pointing to the left-hand tunnel. No, maybe this one. He gestures to the right. I can't seem to remember. It's the right-hand path you'll be wanting, says Finn firmly. A leprechaun's instinct is never wrong. Oh, I'm sure it's to the left, says Elric. To the right, I say, exclaims Finn. They'll be at each other's throats in a minute, you think. You're going to have to settle the argument. But which is it to be? Did you listen to the leprechaun who has been fairly lucky, even though he couldn't find the way to the storm giant? Or do you believe the old dwarf, whom you don't know, and whose memory may very well be fading? So, we taking Elric's advice and go to the left? Page 21, or do we decide to trust Finn's instinct and take the other tunnel and turn to page 153?
Got 2 votes for right already. Victor and Tiger. Right. Oh, got 1 for left. We got right, 2. That's 2. He didn't find the giant. Left? Does that mean you want to go left? Ah, geez, I guess right. Okay, that's 3 for right. 1 more. Need at least 4. 3 for right and 1 for left. 1 for left, 3 for right. Bobbing the music here. Would 1 more vote even matter? I don't know. What do you guys think? Should we just go to the right? I guess we'll go to the right. There was. There's 5, so I don't know. Yeah, well, 3 for the right. That's most of who's voting already. So only 1 to the left. So I guess we're gonna go right and take the leprechaun's advice. The numbers changed. The truth. Numbers change often. Okay, all right, so we're going right, which is Finn's instinct, and take the other tunnel. Page 153. That's the end of the book. Let's see what we got. Here's our new mulligan page. And this, when it comes to choices, pretty quick, so here we go. Don't argue, please. There isn't time, you plead. Let's get Finn's instincts to try. We'll take the tunnel to the right. Maybe we'll find gold. Very well, says the old dwarf, shrugging. After all, it's your village that needs saving. He took that rather well, didn't he? Whispers. Oh, you took that rather well, didn't he? Finn whispers Finn, turning to you with a sly smile. All right, step this way, he says, skipping to the lead in front of Elric. Hopefully he has cookies. Oh, great. Very well, says the old dwarf, shrugging. The 4 of you have marched for only a few minutes before an awesome rumbling like thunder begins overhead. Rocks start to rain down on you from all sides. The old timber supporting the roof give way, and for a moment it seems as though the whole mountain is coming down on your head. You huddle close to your friends, trying to shield yourself from the cave-in, when suddenly, as abruptly as it began, it stops. Finn quickly relights one of his torches with his magic, while you and Barnaby beat the air with your arms, trying to clear away the dust. Fine instincts you have there, leprechaun, muttered Elric, coughing. Wouldn't they pass it up an opportunity to say you told me so, now would you? Counters Finn. Stop the bickering, you two, you cry. Let's just be thankful that no one was hurt. Say, look, says Barnaby, pointing down the tunnel in the direction you were heading. The cave-in has knocked out part of the passage wall, revealing another passage. This one with a strange light glowing in it. Beat the air, yes. Aha! Aha! Shouts Finn, hopping atop the rubble and peering through the opening. What do you make of it now, lads? Maybe my instincts aren't so daft after all. Wait, Elric cautions. There are creatures underground that you above-ground dwellers know nothing about. Some of them tempt their victims with lights like that. Blarney! Exclaimed Finn. Why, that's the way to the Eyrie. I bet my soul on it. I'm not so sure, says the old dwarf, wrinkling his already deeply wrinkled brow. I think we'd better go back where we started and keep the left-hand passage, as I suggested. I don't trust those lights. Another dispute is in the making here, and you can see you'll have to settle it. Should you retreat and take the left-hand passage,
Elric urged you to follow earlier? Or should you trust Finn once again and move into the passage to the light with the light? If you want to go back and take the left-hand passage, turn to page 21. If you want to go forward toward the light, turn to page 32. Go towards the light! Now now it's hard. All right. Air. Yes, we want air. What's it gonna be, guys? 21. All right. Go back and take the left-hand passage. Left. Well, actually, I kind of want to see what's that way. I'm guessing that means light. So we got one for the light, one for going back. Well, the dwarf knows about the underground stuff, so go back. So that's 2. 2 for going back. 2 for 21. Not sure still? Okay. All right. So 2 for going back. I guess we'll have a new mulligan page. 3 for the dwarf. So Fluffy Dog votes for the dwarf. Anybody else want to vote? Or are we going for the dwarf suggestion? Yeah, maybe go back. Okay, well that's 4. All right. That's usually good enough. You finally decide to take Elric's advice and follow the left-hand tunnel. Dust from the cave-in is spread quickly, penetrating even this tunnel. It gets in your eyes and nose and makes it even more difficult to breathe. You grow ever more anxious to get out of these underground passages. I trust the dwarf more than the leprechaun. The leprechaun doesn't want to share his cookies. There you go. Penetrating. All right. Let's see. Finally, Elric calls for a rest near a shaft of some kind leading up. You can feel a draft of fresh air from that shaft, so you decide to climb it to the surface to see where it leads. You soon discover a ladder in the shaft, which makes your ascent easier. As you climb, the air becomes steadily cooler and more breathable. In a short time, you catch a glimpse of stars overhead. When you reach the opening of the shaft, you poke your head out and look around cautiously. The dark shapes of the mountains, cut like black silhouettes from the night sky, are unfamiliar to you. You're in some sort of depression, with mountains on all sides of you. You pull yourself out of the opening and take a deep breath. The air is fresh and cool, much better than in the tunnel, but it carries a peculiar smell. It's hard to say what it is exactly. Almost an animal smell, but not quite. You're wondering about it when you see something in the moonlight that stops you short. It's a globular object, pure white, almost as tall as you are, except for its size. It looks like a chicken egg. Chicken egg! Oh no! Yeah, let's see. Not a shaft. Now a shaft. Reaching even. Scent of a dragon. Scent of a dragon. I like that. Okay. Uh-oh. Coming up. Let's see. Yep, coming up on a choice here in a bit. No chicken egg. Lizards can be stinky sometimes. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yep. All right, here we go. You walk over to it and rap on its side. It sounds full. If this is an egg, you wonder, then how big is the bird that laid it? You never finish the thought. A loud beating sound in the air above you fills your ears, and the wind picks up dramatically. You look up, poised in the air is the largest bird you have ever seen. Its wings alone are as wide as a village meeting hall. You dash for the shaft opening, but you're too late. The creature has already seen you. With a screech so forceful, it scatters the pebbles at your feet. It swoops down, its talons outstretched, ready to pick you off. You dive for the opening and duck through the narrow hole just in time. The monstrous bird's talons hit the ground beside it with a loud thwack. The creature lets out a cry of frustration that seems to shake the entire mountain. You scramble down the ladder as fast as your arms and legs can take you. your heart beating wildly in your chest. When you have descended a safe distance, you stop to catch your breath. You can still hear the screeching and savage beating of the wings behind you. That's enough exploring, you think. Next time I think I'll stick with the group.
Before I read the rest, I'm going to show you the picture. A rock, yeah, that's probably what it is, Tiger. Cool artwork. I love the inks on that. It's so dark. So cool. All right.
Continue climbing down, eager to be reunited with your friends. When you notice something you didn't see before, the shaft splits into two identical tunnels, reaching down into the blackness. One angling left, the other right. Both have ladders. You try to think, but for the life of you can't remember which way you came. You pause on the ladder, feeling the terrible weight of indecision. Which one should you take, right or left? There's nothing to guide you. Seems to be a completely arbitrary choice. So, shaft to the right, 138, or shaft to the left, 128.
Oh, you was a lady dragon. I mean, of course you're a lady dragon. Again? Oof. All right, left or right again. Right sounds right. Yeah, I can understand that logic. Right, move right. Two, count them, 2 votes. Apparently, this is going to be our new mulligan. A lot of choices here. Anybody else want to jump in? So we can't find the others. Sure, right. 3 votes for right. That's 4. That's 4. 4. I almost made an obscene gesture on accident. 4. All right, we're going right. Unanimous. Victor says right 2. All right. All right, right. It's all right. So, chat to your right, page 138. All right, we're jumping around in this book. I like it. 28, 133, 137, 138. All right, we got a choice on this one. You're all right. I'm all right. I'm all right. Okay, here we go. You scurry down the right-hand shaft and are relieved to find Barnaby waiting for you. Toby, you won't believe what we found. With the torch held high, he leads you down the tunnel. You hear strains of a female voice, singing in an eerie tone like a musical saw. It sends a shiver down your spine. What is that, you ask? Shh, your brother cautions. Barnaby leads you to where Finn and Elric are hiding behind a fallen timber. Ahead you see a creature out of a fairy tale. A snake, with the head of a woman, is swaying back and forth singing. Behind it is a strange, bright light. Eric turns towards you. A naga, he whispers hoarsely. We'll have to be careful. They're very poisonous. Aye, guarding a treasure too. Aye, guarding a treasure too, I'll warn it. That's Finn. Is there somewhere around it, you ask? Elric shakes his head. Here, it lies beyond her. See that light? The treasure she's guarding is a dragon treasure for sure. You've got to figure out some way to get by her. Supporting herself on her coils and swaying back and forth, the naga reminds you of a worm. Image gives you an idea. I have a plan, you announce. Go back to the shaft that leads upward, all of you. You wait for me there. I'll take care of this. Your companions start to protest, but you insist. When they're gone, take a deep breath and turn to face the naga. Don't trust it. No, I wouldn't either. Emerging from your hiding place, you suddenly approach the creature casually. Then suddenly, approach the creature casually, then suddenly stoop and grab a handful of the gold it's guarding. The naga screeches, as though its heart has been torn out. You take off at a run with the naga slithering after you. Oh, there's the tapeworm! Use the rock. Yes. Okay, I'm guessing that's what's going on here. Oh shit!
Oh. All right, let's see, where was I? You're amazed at how fast the creature can move. You have to run your fastest to stay ahead of it. Down the long, dark corridor toward the pinpoints of light that are the torches of your friends. When you reach the shaft, you shoot up it and scramble for the surface. At first, you're not sure that the Naga saw you, but then you hear the scrape of the scales against the rock beneath you. You climb like a madman, clawing at the ladder rungs, until you reach the other shaft you found earlier. You dart into it and hide as the Naga's long body slithers past. Several seconds later, you hear the Naga cry out. Then the cry is cut short as the screech of the giant bird echoes up and down the mountainside, trembling with relief. You climb down and rejoin your friends. What happened to the Naga? Asked Barnaby. The early bird got it, you say with a grin. Now let's go back and have a look at your treasure. Farm, you fools. Yoink! Yep. When you reach the treasure, Finn is already dancing on it, and Elric is sitting on top of it. It's 1.5 tons, maybe more, of pure gold, shouts Elric, picking up a handful of coins and letting them trickle through his finger. We're rich, chants Finn. Find one blood, he adds ecstatically. There's enough here to buy a whole new village, the old dwarf exclaims, and then some. He's right, Toby, says Barnaby earnestly, the gold twinkling in his eyes. There's no need to go to the area now. We can return home, evacuate everyone, and replace whatever's lost. Sounds pretty easy, you say, but first we have to get the gold home without being robbed. And then we have to figure out a way to distribute it fairly. Seems to me it might be better to go onto the area and prevent the attack in the first place. And take more risk, hoots Barnaby. You have to admit, Barnaby's plan sounds tempting. Should you give up now and take the gold and go home? Or should you continue on to the area? If you want to take the gold and go home, turn to page 49. If you decide to continue on to the area, turn to page 145. A new mulligan page, guys. Who needs a pot of gold? There's no time for no gold. Naga nachos. Yes, sir. Choose on them. The Naga is food, yes. Gold. Let's see. Yeah, no time for gold. Not cookies? No, it's not cookies. We'll never make it with the gold on us. Okay, there's that. So you want to go on to the area. I'm taking that vote as that vote. Go on and smack brother. Yes. Okay, that's 2 for go on. 2 for go on. All right. This gives me an opportunity to change the music up a little bit. I got lots of it this time. I say we take it. You want to take the gold and go home? I understand the vote there, Fluffy Dog. You want to go to the area, so that's 3 for the area. 3 for the area. 3. Trade 1, trade 2, trade 3. You always play pit. I mean, what's the harm in a wee bit of coin? Oh, I'm still picking a pocket of gold. Yep. All right, well, I'm taking 3 votes as enough here. I know we got lots of people in the chat at the moment, but it looks like we're heading on to the area. You're kind of outvoted, Fluffy Dog. So, Ben, we're going to 49. Instead of back home. All right. Yar. Okay. You stoop down. Wait. Did I go the right way? Oh, okay. No. Take the gold and go back to 49. We're going on to the area, 145. Okay. I was right the first time. That's funny. So it'll take us right back to 142. Interesting. I don't know why they just put it in there the other way. Okay. I think we should go on to the area, however much treasure there is. Barnaby starts to object, but you cut him off. Nothing's changed, Barnaby. We still got to prevent war from breaking out. People still will get hurt, even killed. First, Barnaby says nothing. Then he nods his head grudgingly. Well, if you go to the area, you go on without me, lads. What? You ask, surprised. You won't be needing me any longer. When you meet the dragons, it won't be luck or magic getting you through. It'll be justice. And justice is on your side. We can't go on without you, Finn, says Barnaby. You agree? The thought of not having the little fellow at your side is too much. Nonsense. You'll face the dragons like the brave lads you both are. I promised I'd get you to the area. The rest is up to you. He tricked us. Bye, Mr. Leprechaun. You try pleading with the little leprechaun, but it's no use. His mind is made up. He's seen his gold, and he's ready to go. In the end, you're forced to say goodbye to both him and Elric, and you shoulder your packs and start the journey towards the area alone. Soon you find yourselves in a spacious hallway, lit by torches flickering high on the wall. The torches are held in brackets carved in the shape of dragons, and you know you've reached the area at last.
Okay. He's supposed to serve us forever. That's what I thought too, Jess. Yeah. Right? Me gold. Yes, there we go. He just wanted the gold. I think so too.
All right, the gold broke it. He broke the vow. He just agreed, and leprechaun, and oh boy, here we go. Now that you're inside the dragon stronghold at last, you feel an odd combination of relief that one step of the ordeal is over, but also dread because you know that now the real test begins. You realize with surprise that you don't know where to begin. You presume that you just show Bosporus' squad to whomever you met, and you'd be taking someone in charge. But it doesn't seem to be that easy. For one thing, the place is deserted. Where is everybody? Asked Barnaby, as the two of you make your way up the long hallway. I don't know, you reply. Sort of scary, isn't it? You don't suppose they started the attack early, do you? You don't answer. You thought you saw a slight motion up ahead, and you motioned to your brother to be quiet and to follow you behind one of the tall pillars that decorate the hall. What you see is a creature sitting in front of a set of ornately carved doors. A creature you've heard about in legends, but never thought you'd see in real life. It is, it's a chimera, a monster with 3 heads, a lion's, a snake's, and a goat, all on one body. Barnaby gasped. I wouldn't have believed it if I didn't see it myself. Shh, you say. Listen to what the heads are saying.
Now I've got a picture. The dwarf, he went with the leprechaun. He got you here. That was all he said he would do. You'll get taken to the evil red dragon, probably. Dwarf stayed too? No. Dwarf took off. Yes. Chimera. You threaten him by picking him up. We own your soul, you say, shaking his green coat. You return to me. You turn to me with gold. Yes, there you go.
But that's not in the book. So here we go. It's right there.
Who built the city? It wasn't on rock and roll. Yes, we built this city on rock and roll. There we go. Chimera! Oh no! Let's see if I can get that to focus. That's a kick-ass picture. Yes! He actually built it on rock and roll. Alright, looks like we're gonna have another choice. Until Bosporus gets back, says the lion's head. But you're not going to wait in there all night, are they? They're not going to wait in there all night, are they? Asked the goat's head testily. Bosporus is already long overdue. The snake's head, meanwhile, with his long neck, has been listening at the door. I think not, it says, swaying back to join the others. I think Cleto has just about convinced them to attack now. Did you hear that, Barnaby? He whispered excitedly. We've got to get in there. Wait, we just rushed in. They might believe us. They might not. Didn't Bosporus say something about a dragon named Helio? Maybe we should try to find him first. Maybe Barnaby's right. You have no idea how the dragons will react to your story. And you only have one chance. If they don't believe you from the start, it may be very hard to convince them that you're telling the truth. On the other hand, you have no idea where Helio is or how to find him. What should you do? If you want to try to enter the Dragon Council Chamber, turn to page 87. If you want to wait and try to find Helio first, turn to page 124. So, just jam to the Council Chamber or look for Helio. That's our choice. Let's see. What does it taste like? He commits treason. Trust the door. Chicken, goat, cat, or snake? Maybe all of that. All right, we have the choices. Enter the Dragon Council Chamber or wait and try to find Helio. Helio! Find Helio! That's one. One vote for find Helio. Helio, that's two. Count them. Two. Two votes for Helio. I thought Helio attacked the gold dragon. Oh, no, Helios is the gold dragon's friend. Oh, look for Helio. Yes. So it's three votes for Helio. I'll say you, Victor. Looks like we're gonna go try and wait and find Helio. Wow, it's a turducken all by itself. Yes, sir. 124, I'm guessing. Right? We got 3 votes, so one more for sure. It'll put us in that direction. I'm guessing we're going to 124. If you object, Victor, go to 124. My nose is objecting already, so you know. Yeah, probably go anyway. 3 votes. All right. As you try to decide, 124. Yep. Okay, sir. As you try to decide, you take a long look at the fearful chimera guarding the door. Barnaby doesn't seem anxious to confront it, and you're not either. All right, you say. Let's try to find it. Carefully, you make your way from pillar to pillar until you're safely past the chimera. You continue down the corridor until you come to a room with a light on. You peer in and see a dragon sitting on a perch, high up near the ceiling. You're wondering if you should approach it when it sees you and it flies down. Humans! It shouts. Humans! Sound the alarm! No, you say hastily. We're friends. But it's no use. In a matter of seconds, you're surrounded. Guards lead you off to a dungeon several levels down. The guards push you through a bronze door. Then the door slams behind you. Why didn't you show them the claw? Asked Barnaby. I was afraid they wouldn't believe me and take it away. Claw? Asked a voice from the other side of the room. A dragon appears from the shadow. He looks somewhat haggard, but he has rainbow-colored scales, just like Bosporus. Thought Bosporus was a gold dragon. Did they change here? Offer the leprechaun soul contact as tribute for your freedom. That's funny. Why, you're humans here. The air is no place for you. We don't tolerate humans here. We're not here by choice, says Barnaby crumpily. You said you had a claw. Where did you get it? The dragon continues. Quickly, you relate the story of the previous day, finishing by describing how Bosporus died and ask you to take his claw. Bosporus is dead, gasped the dragon, obviously shaken. This is terrible. And did you say he was coming back here to tell us that peace had already been made? Yes, that was just before he was murdered by a dragon he called Pluto. This last bit of information seems to hit the dragon particularly hard. He sits heavily by the dungeon wall and for several seconds stares blankly at the floor. I never would have believed Pluto was capable of such a thing. His ambition is greater than I thought. Just
Who are you? You ask, stepping closer. I'm called Helio. Helio, exclaims Barnaby. Why, you're the one Bosphorus asked us to contact, you say. He said you'd be able to help us. Obviously, he was mistaken, says the dragon with a helpless shrug at his surroundings. Suddenly the door burst open and another dragon enters, followed by 2 Chimera guards. You recognize him immediately. It's Cleto. So my sources were right, exclaims Cleto.
Hi, what's up, Barry? We built this city. Rainbow dragon. Yep, this one's a rainbow dragon. Yay, Helio! But Helio's in the dungeon with you.
May not be good. There are human spies in the area. Helio is quickly on his feet, his tail slashing. You'll never get away with it, Cleto. How long do you think it will be before the council finds out Bosporus has already made a pact with their king? How long? Why, never, returns Cleto. In another few minutes, the council will have been tired of waiting for Bosporus to return. Then they will vote to start the attack. Once we're in the air, the peace treaty won't matter. It's a dark day for dragons, Helio shakes his head bitterly. Guards, strip these spies of their weapons, orders Cleto. Now I'll decide how to dispose of them later. The Chimeras take everything from you and Barnaby, including your pact. What do we do now? Asks Barnaby. Once they're gone, they've got the claw in your pact. No, you sigh. Even if we could get into the council meeting now, we'd have no way to convince them. It doesn't look good, says Helio, and cocks his head listening. I can hit the meeting through this ventilation shaft. In a corner of the dungeon ceiling near Helio, you see a small round hole. As you approach it, you hear voices.
Yeah.
Does this shaft lead into the council chamber, you ask? I think so, Helio replies. Why? Because one of us might be able to climb up through it. We could break in on the meeting and tell the dragons the truth. Maybe we can stop the attack. Barnaby shakes his head. We don't have the claw, remember? Cleto would just say we were lying. But we can't be any worse off than we were now. Any chance is better than none. I think we should try to find a way to get Helio out of here, says Barnaby. They might believe him. There isn't much time, you realize. From what you can hear, the council is preparing to vote right now. Even if you could get up the shaft, it might be too late. Should you try the shaft? Or try to free Helio and hope that somehow he can head off the attack? So, you want to climb the shaft and turn to page 134. 134. Decide to stay and try to think of a way to free Helio. Turn to page 149.
All right, we got a new mulligan. Okay. You look in, they're worshiping a large black dragon who breathes breath of green. All right, so
do we want to take the shaft, climb the shaft, or stay and think of a way to free Helio?
hee, shaft, okay. Shaft. All right, we need to do this. Free Helio, but I don't know how. Free him. That's 2 for free him, 1 for the shaft. Freelio! That's 3 for Freelio. Okay, I guess we're freeing Helio. Let's have some fun. All right, let's do this. Stay and try to think of a way to free Helio. 149. We're getting close, guys. Oh, this is a long one. Okay. Maybe the end, my friends. Shaft! Sorry, we're not taking the shaft. All right, you say, we'll stay. We've got to figure out a way to get to let the council know Helio's down here. The music is better for D&D. Yes, it is. I was saving it. For the end. Passage 1 might say, yes. Passage 1 might say, yes. I like writing it down.
All right. Never see you begin pacing the room. How many dragons you know you're down here? Asked Helio. No one. I was taken from my room in the middle of the night. Pluto didn't want me at the meeting. He knew I'd never vote to attack. Stop under the opening of the ventilation shaft. You hear them. Can they hear us, you wonder aloud? Helio shrugged. I'm not sure. This room doesn't excuse you very often. Contrary to what you might think, dragons don't throw each other in the dungeon every day. What if we make a big ruckus? I don't understand. We make a lot of noise here under the ventilation shaft. They'd have to stop the meeting to find out what was going on, wouldn't they? What good would that do? Asked Bumpy. Vito would only make up some story and send some guards to gag us. It was worth a try. What have we got to lose? Finally convince them that your plan might work. Three of you begin making as much noise as you can. Scream and shout and wail at the top of your lungs. The din in the stone-walled dungeon is deafening. Shout, "Hello!" You're still screaming when the floor flies open and Cleto stalks in. What's the meaning of this, he demands. What do you expect to accomplish with this? Guards! Two chimeras enter the room. Their hands are three cloth gaps. Are you afraid we'll tell them the truth about you, Cleto? Oh, I'm sorry. You afraid we'll tell them the truth about you, Cleto? You say as one of the chimeras grabs you. That you're a murderer and you're starting this war for your own benefit. Director shouts up the ventilation shaft. Shall we tell them how you killed Bosporus? Asked Barnaby, catching on to what you're doing. You think you're going to discredit me? Cleto says, smiling calmly. I've already told the council about the human spies that were sent to stop us. Did you tell them about me as well? Helio asked, stepping forward. The guards rush him, but he backs away, his tail swishing across the slipping floor nervously. Is this the way you begin your reign, Cleto? Helio presses on. With murder and deceit? I'll be the most powerful ruler the dragons have ever known, shouts Cleto. You'll be disgraced. Your grave will be spit upon and scorned. You'll be forgotten. No, shouts Cleto. He pushes the guards aside and lunges for Helio. At that moment, another dragon enters the room and sees what's happening. Shocked, he can only stop by the door and stare. Behind him, another dragon appears, then another. It looks like the entire council is here to see what's happening. Can't the dragon breathe fire and get them out? Well, that might have been a possibility. Clang, clang goes the branch, goes the train. Can I have a victory? Toot, 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 toot. Oh, you guys are silly. Too soon for victory. Yeah, okay. You're right. By this time, Cleto has overcome his adversary. He has Helio pinned on the floor, his long neck under one of Cleto's powerful rear legs. Cleto is preparing to deliver the death blow to Helio when he suddenly becomes aware of its audience. The room is filled with dragons now, and more are pressing inside every second. Cleto turns to face them, a weak smile crossing his dragon's face. You'd better let Helio go, brother, a large dragon near the front says quietly. Cleto steps back and allows Helio to get up. Follow me, both of you, says the large dragon. We better discuss this upstairs. Bring the human prisoners too. For the next hour, you explain to the Dragon Council all you know about Bosporus, his death, and the agreement with King Olaf. When you've finished, you're asked to leave the room. It isn't until later, when you're saying goodbye to Helio, that you learn that Cleto has been banished from Dragon's Head Mountain and will be forced to wander the northern waste alone for the rest of his days. He'll be harmless enough there, says Helio. Meanwhile, give our regards to your village. Tell them that there will be no need to fear attack from the dragons in the future. And you tell your council that we'll start moving the village off. And you tell the council that we'll start moving the village off the nesting ground as soon as we get back. You boys can be proud of what you've done for us. Your bravery and your refusal to give up will live in dragon legend forever. We learned a lot from you too, Helio, says Barnaby, and we'll never forget you. You say goodbye, and then begin the long trek down the mountain toward home, certain that there will be peace in your village for many years to come. The end! We did it! Brief
finished another one, my friends. We got a good ending on the second try, because our first choice led to a bad ending. All right, let's take a look at the poll. We got Robbers and Robots, Circus of Fear, King's Quest, and Lair of the Lich. Let's see what's going on. Switch up the music here real quick. We'll take Jess's advice for the end here. Do some medieval tavern music. Dragon legend, but not human legend. Yeah, you're right, Jess. All right, let's see what we got going on with this poll. 12 votes. What shall we read next time? Robbers and Robots, Circus of Fear, King's Quest, Lair of the Lich. We got 0 votes for poor Circus of Fear, 17 votes for Lair of the Lich, and 50 votes for Robbers and Robots. Looks like we have a winner, my friends. A winner. It's going to be Robbers and Robots with 12 votes in, 50% of the votes for Robbers and Robots. Dragon Legend lasts longer. Yes, true. Sweet Reed, another one. Yeah, yes, another one now. This is true. This is true. But next week, next week. Once a month, my friends. Next month, Robbers and Robots. So this ought to be interesting. Not D&D. We're going to do a top secret. We've done Gamma World before, so this will be our second different one. So that is our winner, Robbers and Robots. We had a great ending to a cool story. I had a lot of fun reading tonight. I hope you guys had fun hanging out and helping me decide what we're going to do in this book. But I think on that note, my friends, I'm going to have to say goodnight. And next time we'll have Robbers and Robots, and I will set it up and we'll have some fun. Hope you guys enjoyed. Yeah, good night, everyone. I appreciate you being here. So, on that note, we'll see you later.